Hey again, everybody. How's it going? This came up in conversation, came up on the page, and dawned on us on sitting here. Might as well look inside it because we've never actually done that. Well, we've looked inside it, obviously, but we've never actually kind of lifted the lid off it for use because it kind of arrived at that point where we were all kind of like, hmm. But role playing has had a resurgence down at the bunker of late. Bit of fantasy role playing, bit of Call of Cthulhu, bit of Judge Dredd. Now talk about a bit of Star Trek as well. But what sparked off the remembrance about this was Chaosium had posted up that their EU warehouse is now sold out of this. This is a reprint of the very early Sandy Petersen stuff, and it's all here, sort of clean, tidy, neat. This is the big fancy deluxe box. And understandably, this one might make people pause and go, do I need that? Do I want that? Because it's a reasonably hefty price tag. I think it's coming in around about $119, something like that. You might find it less than that. And obviously it's like 100 quid in, like, our money. I can't remember. It's probably not far off that in euros anyway. There is a PDF set up available as well, if you like that sort of thing. Something lovely about books and about boxes. So yeah, this will in no way be in depth. This will literally be a cursory look at what you're getting inside the 2-inch box. Okay, as far as I know, the contents of the 1-inch box are similar, less obviously, but not most of the same stuff. The stuff that's in the 1-inch box will be in this. This has more. Okay, that's as simple as my brain can make it tonight. So, hefty box, lid off, nice solid, old school. Gotta love a bit of old school. We have gone through this already, so the contents probably are not in the order in which you would come across them opening it brand new for yourself. So I could be bored trying to figure out what way that should be. So we're just going to hit these as they come. Okay, so thankfully you can see everything nice and clearly on the screen anyway, which probably doesn't need much of an. I could just sit here quietly, just flick through these for you. So first one is one of the companion titles. Nicely done, soft back, and nothing really, as far as I know, has been changed here. Okay, it might have been reformatted to fit it into the modern printing method, whatever, but essentially you are getting a reprint. I think they cleaned up some errata and a few issues that some of the stuff had, but as far as I know, largely you're getting what it was at the time. Okay, so that's a hefty little tome, lots of maps, diagrams, as all the old stuff kind of originally had. Most of the new stuff does too, but there's a charm and all to that old school artwork as well. So that one's clocking in. Does it have a page count? Yeah, 52, 53, 53, 54, 55 pages. 55 pages of useful stuff. Okay. And some stuff at the back. Ooh, little building for you to cut out. The strange high house in the mist. That's cute. I hadn't noticed that before. So that's kind of fun. So Ghastly Adventures Companion. I got a rather nice looking source book for the 1920s. And it's got an airship on it. You all know my soft spot for airships. So that's a winner straight away. Doesn't matter what the contents of this book are, this book's a winner, obviously, and completely worth the money in its own right. I joke. Okay. Source book for the 1920s. There's your table of contents. If I hold it still long enough, you can actually see the table of contents. 36 pages here. It's a slightly thinner tome, but it's the same soft card cover and loaded with stuff by the looks of things. Yeah. Ooh, nice railway coach map there as well. Railway lines for the 1920s. Cute. Prices in cash. New weapons for Call of Cthulhu. New weapons. 1920s. I just took fancy. Luxor, Egypt. Cute. Nice. Sketch map of certain New England territories. Very nice. Okay, so source book for the 1920s. Clocking in again, about the 30-page mark. We have the Keeper's Screen. This is maybe a little thinner than you'd be used to, but does its job. And again, loaded with all the tables that the would-be keeper could require, and a little bit of iconography on it as well. Cute. Fragments of Fear, the second Cthulhu companion. So again, I think we're all softback kind of covers here. '40th anniversary edition. So there's your table of contents again. If I hold that nice and steady, you should hopefully be able to see that in high definition. Call of Cthulhu questions, ritual curses, Innsmouth map, mythos, comparative sizes on the ubiquity of Cthulhu, extract, Edward of Mordrake, Cthulhu grimoire, lions and tigers and bears, etc. Nemesis, the underground menace scenario, new mythos, deities, races and monsters, Valley of the Four Shrines, a scenario. Okay, cool. How many pages are we looking at here again? 45. Okay, so this is what you can have a loose page count, which maybe have like a tracker keeping up here on the screen for page count. Quite interested. I haven't actually got looking at all of these. So there's our comparative sizes, tons. Nice map of Innsmouth there. A little bit about Cthulhu. Tigers and lions, bears. Underground menace. Nah, look at that. Class. Look at the shape of that thing. Enough to drive any player insane. Cool. So here's one of the more famous adventures, one of the old school adventures. Nice bit of artwork on it there too. For keepers only, so you don't let your players see this one. And we're at 64 pages for this one here. Okay. And again, it's the same sort of fare. Everything as it was, as it should be, as it will be forever. Amen. Michigan Haunted House. Got our little adventures tucked in here, making up that. I'll have short adventures here in the Asylum and Other Tales. This one feels quite hefty actually. 7 sinister situations. That's what it says on the back. 7 sinister situations. So we've got the auction, we've got the Madman, we've got the Black Devil Mountain, the Asylum, the Mauritania, Gate from the Past, Worcester House, and illustrations cover painting by Tim Sullivan. Don't know why I read that one out, didn't read any other ones out. So I think from rough memory, most of these should be like 1-2 nighters, from what I vaguely recall. But chock full of stuff there, and on its own, a nice little book, Central Arkham. Cool. So 64 pages of dread. So there's our classic 2nd edition core rulebook. Acknowledgements, dedications. Dedicate this work to my father, just in case there was something I need to know. Didn't see an index. Maybe it's after the introduction. Lovely map. Our introduction. Create an investigator. Nope, no index there that I can see. Maybe there'll be a reference at the back or something. So obviously this will be a little bit different from its current incarnations. And that's probably best exemplified on the character sheet. I think that tends to show people the differences faster than anything else. But the character sheets, as I recall, are separate to this. So we've no indices or anything like that there. There's no sort of quick reference. So you might be making a few little post-it note bookmarks in this one. Page count, 96. That's probably the heftiest. Shadows of Yog-Sothoth, a global campaign to save mankind. And we're at 71 pages. Page count's up and down, but it's definitely increased from the first couple of tomes. Got our index here again, showing you it's the 40th anniversary edition. But I think you're probably fair enough to know what to expect now that you're seeing that. So obviously it's all black and white, bar the covers. Woo, fun, the catch. So another clatter of adventures there for you, all with its maps and pictures to help you. The Silver Twilight is an international organisation dedicated to the destruction of the human race. As a brave investigator, you must piece together the passages from esoteric books, shards of ancient artifacts, and puzzling letters to discover the Silver Twilight's loathsome goals. We have a wad of character sheets and handouts. I forgot about these. So there's your second edition character sheet. Top's probably the biggest thing to see the difference from the modern stuff. So it's recognizable. You can see where it comes from, but it is different. And these are double-sided, of course, as they should be. So you get a ream, or not a ream, not 500 pages. You get like about a dozen, and then you get all the handouts. Look at that, letters and letters and letters. Remember when we used to actually put the effort into doing handouts for games? There's the effort done for you. Second edition. No excuse for not giving players loads of stuff to spread across the table and try and figure out what the dickens is going on. Lovely. Some people like to put miniatures on their table and move them about to represent where they are in maps and in locations. That's how you used to do it. You cut these out and fold them in half. They had little feet so that you could stand them up. And there was monsters, and there was investigators, and there was other monsters. And then there was more monsters and some more investigators, but mostly monsters. Never used them myself, but it's kind of cute. I think I had them for one of the Judge Dredd games back in the day. Oh, we get a poster. Forgot about this too. It's like one of those old World War II aviation spot the enemy posters. It's a size comparison chart for all the deities and things and stuff. Not cute. Got more posters. Oh, got one more poster. Okay, got one more poster. Kind of thought there was. I know it seems very ungrateful to say I thought there was more. Memory just tricks you with stuff. This seems to be two posters. These are going to be far too big to get on the screen for you. But we have a huge map of Arkham. I mean, it's huge. And there is a map of something else. It's the world. Whoa, why did I keep going the wrong direction? It's a map of the world. And it feels like there's something on the inside, but I could be wrong. Felt like it was. No, it's not. It's just a double-sided poster. Just felt like it was 2 pages. And the pièce de résistance, of course, is a full set of proper nice fancy dice. Look at that. Nice fancy model dice. Ooh, pretty. Plastic, but solid, reliable, dependable. Percentiles, D6, D4, D8, D20, D10. What more could you want? So that's it. That's what's inside it. Hopefully we haven't gone much over like 10 minutes maybe here, maybe 15 minutes, because I can waffle like the best of them. But there you go. Hopefully that's, if this is something that was sort of on your radar and you're thinking, can I really justify the spend? I'd like to have a closer look at it or whatever. It's not the sort of thing you can expect to walk into the average hobby shop and have a flick through. But hopefully that gives you some impression as to what you're getting inside that and whether it is worth your hard-earned monies. If you've already got it, you've already got it. If you've got the second edition sitting on the shelf behind you, then, you know, unless you need to sort of replace something that's really damaged or whatever, that's fair enough. If you like the more modern system, then you're probably not going to be too fussed on this, to be honest. It is a more pruned down system. It's a little bit more clunky in places because obviously the mechanic of Call of Cthulhu has had a few refinements over the time. There's a broader skill base now and willpower rolls and things like that there. If you've kind of dabbled in Cthulhu and you haven't made any big purchase investments rulebook wise, well, you know, you might well enjoy diving into this, because for the spend you're getting your core rulebook, you're getting loads and loads of instruments. It's going to be enough for you to keep you playing Call of Cthulhu for quite some considerable time before you even need to think about getting anything else. That's it. Again, if you've just got that kind of itch, you just want to scratch the curiosity box, you can always look at the smaller box, the 1-inch box. I think it's core rulebook, a couple of the supplements, a couple of posters and things. Or of course, if you're more modern and digital, you can always just go and buy the PDFs and then probably never actually read them anyway. But you get them for about half the price of the printed product. There we go. Hopefully that is answered a couple of questions for a few people out there who might be on the cusp of going, Call of Cthulhu, do I want to get into it or not? Just bear in mind, if you are completely new to Call of Cthulhu, this is going back to the early days. So it's not as refined a system, and it's going to be just maybe a little bit more clunky. I think they've obviously worked a lot of refined through, and there's other versions of the Call of Cthulhu system out there nowadays as well, the Call of Cthulhu D20 and the Call of Trail of Cthulhu and things like that there, and there's like Cthulhu Gumshoe or something like that, Delta Green, modern day, The Laundry, which is a very sort of British twist based on the novels. So one for your think pile. And maybe that, as I say, has answered a couple of questions. As always, thanks for watching, and give it a like, give it a share, have a little comment, and let us know what your thoughts on the value of this set is. If you've got it already, how do you find it? Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Hopefully not. And if you can, subscribe, follow us, join us, be one of us, and, you know, be informed when we bother doing videos and they go up, and then you'll get to see them early and things like that. And shout at us when you think we're wrong with things or whatever. Don't shout at us, be nice. Okay, bye-bye.